Success isn't some mystery locked away in a vault. It's right here, available to you right now. But there's a formula to it that most folks never learn. And that's why most people live lives of quiet desperation, always wanting more but never figuring out how to get it. Today I want to share something powerful with you. Not just ideas, but a proven formula that works every single time when applied correctly. You know what's interesting? If you ask 10 people what success means, you'll get 10 different answers. Some will talk about money, others about good relationships, some about health or spiritual fulfillment. But here's what I've learned after decades of studying successful people. True success isn't just one thing, it's a complete package. And there's a specific formula to create it that almost no one talks about. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to succeed at everything they touch? Meanwhile, others work just as hard, but never get ahead. What's the difference? Is it luck, talent, connections? No. It's something much simpler, yet much more powerful. The real difference is that successful people follow a formula, often without even realizing it. A formula that works across all areas of life. A formula you can start using today regardless of your background, education, or current circumstances. And I promise you, once you understand and apply this formula, your life will never be the same. Most people think success is complicated. It's not. Success is simple, but it's not easy. There's a big difference. The formula I'm about to share with you is simple to understand, but it requires discipline to apply. And that's where most people fall short. Society sells us a distorted picture of success. We see the mansion, the luxury car, the beautiful spouse, the exotic vacations, but we don't see what went into creating those results. We don't see the years of dedicated effort, the failures, the setbacks, the persistence. We only see the end result and think, I want that. But wanting isn't enough. We've been taught to believe in overnight success stories. The truth? They don't exist. What looks like overnight success to the outside world is almost always the result of years of preparation meeting opportunity. The actor who gets discovered after one audition, they've likely been studying and practicing their craft for a decade. The overnight millionaire, they've probably failed at 3 businesses before finding the right formula. When most people talk about success, they focus on tactics. Do this specific thing and you'll get this specific result. But tactics change with time and circumstances. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow. What works for one person might not work for another. That's why copying someone else's exact path rarely leads to the same results. The formula I'm sharing with you today isn't about tactics. It's about principles. Principles don't change. They work regardless of economic conditions, technological changes, or social trends. They work regardless of your age, background, or starting point. They're timeless and universal. The first part of this success formula, the foundation everything else builds upon, is taking 100% responsibility for your life. Not 70, not 90, 100% complete ownership. This is where most people get stuck right from the start. It's easier to blame circumstances, other people, the economy, the government, your upbringing, or bad luck for your current situation. And as long as you blame something or someone outside yourself, you give away your power to change. When you take 100% responsibility, something magical happens. You move from being a victim to being the creator of your life. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what can I do about this? That simple shift changes everything. I remember talking with a man who had lost his job after 20 years with the same company. He was angry, bitter, blaming his boss, the economy, his age, everything except himself. I asked him, what part did you play in this situation? At first, he was offended by the question. But after thinking about it, he admitted he had stopped learning new skills years ago. He had become comfortable and complacent. That moment of taking responsibility was painful for him, but it was also the beginning of his turnaround. Once he owned his part, he could take action. He invested in learning new skills, expanded his network, and within 6 months, he had started his own consulting business, making more than he ever did at his old job. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself. It means acknowledging your power to respond to any situation. The word responsibility literally means the ability to respond. When you take 100 responsibility, you take back 100 of your power. This mindset shift is the foundation of success in every area of life. Your health, your responsibility, your finances, your responsibility, your happiness, your responsibility. No exceptions, no excuses. Now let's build on this foundation with the 4 pillars of success that make up our formula. The first pillar is having a clear purpose. Not just goals, but a driving purpose that pulls you forward even when motivation fades. Most people drift through life without a clear purpose. They take whatever job pays the bills. They spend their free time however society suggests they should. They let life happen to them instead of designing the life they want. Success starts with clarity. You must know what you want and why you want it. The what gives you direction. The why gives you staying power. When the road gets tough, and it always does, your why is what keeps you going. Your purpose doesn't need to be grand or world-changing. It needs to be meaningful to you. Maybe your purpose is to create financial security for your family. Maybe it's to make a difference in your community. Maybe it's to master a craft or skill you're passionate about. The specifics don't matter as much as having something that pulls you forward. Once you have clarity on your purpose, you need to translate it into specific, measurable goals. Vague wishes produce vague results. Clear goals produce clear results. Write them down. Put dates on them. Make them specific. Someday I want to be financially secure isn't a goal. By December 31st, I will have $25,000 in my investment account. That's a goal you can work toward. The second pillar of success is consistent action. This is where most people falter. They have good intentions. They make plans. They get excited about their goals. But they don't take consistent action over time. They start and stop, never building enough momentum to break through. Success is not about taking massive action once. It's about taking consistent action over time. Small actions, repeated daily, compound just like interest in a bank account. This is the power of habit. What you do occasionally creates little change. What you do consistently creates massive change. 5 minutes of exercise every day will transform your health more than 5 hours of exercise once a month. Reading 10 pages every day will educate you more than reading 300 pages once a month. Making 1 sales call every day will grow your business more than making 30 calls in 1 day each month. Consistency beats intensity almost every time. Why? Because consistency creates habits and habits create your life. The truth is, your life today is the sum total of your habits. If you want a different life, you need different habits. The third pillar is learning from results. Every action produces feedback in the form of results. Most people ignore this feedback. They keep doing the same things while hoping for different outcomes. That's the definition of insanity. Successful people pay attention to results. They learn from what works and what doesn't. They make adjustments based on real feedback, not on opinions or feelings. They don't take failure personally. They see it as information, as data to help them refine their... When you plant a garden, you don't just throw seeds on the ground and hope for the best. You pay attention to which plants thrive and which struggle. You learn about the soil conditions, the amount of sunlight, the right amount of water. You make adjustments based on what you observe. Your life works the same way. Every result gives you information. Every outcome teaches you something. But you have to be willing to look honestly at the results you're getting. No excuses, no justifications, just clear-eyed assessment of what's working and what isn't. The fourth pillar is course correction. Once you learn from your results, you need to adjust your approach accordingly. This is where flexibility becomes crucial. Too many people stick rigidly to their original plan, even when it's clearly not working. They value consistency over results. Successful people value results over consistency. They're willing to change approaches, try new methods, and adjust their plans when necessary. They understand that the path to success is rarely a straight line. It's full of detours, obstacles, and unexpected opportunities. The ability to adapt is essential. Think of a ship crossing the ocean. It has a clear destination. That's purpose. It moves consistently toward that destination. That's action. But winds and currents constantly push it off course. The captain doesn't just continue on the original heading regardless. He constantly checks position and makes adjustments. That's learning and course correction. Now, let's put these 4 pillars together into the hidden formula that creates success in any area of life. Here, your purpose. Consistent action. See, learning from results, course correction, that's it. Simple, right? But don't mistake simplicity for weakness. This formula has created more success in more areas of life for more people than any other approach. Let's break it down step by step. First, get absolutely clear on what you want and why you want it. Make it specific, make it measurable, write it down. Review it daily to keep it front and center in your mind. Second, determine the actions that will move you toward your goal and commit to taking those actions consistently. Not occasionally, not when you feel like it. Consistently, like clockwork, regardless of mood or circumstances. Third, pay close attention to the results you're getting. Be honest with yourself. No excuses, no justifications. Look at the actual results, not your intentions or efforts. First, on those results, make necessary adjustments to your approach. Try different methods. Seek advice from those who have what you want. Be flexible about your methods while staying committed to your purpose. Fifth, repeat this cycle again and again, refining your approach each time until you achieve your desired outcome. The reason so few people apply this formula isn't that it's complicated. It's because each step requires something most people aren't willing to give. Truth, discipline, and responsibility. Truth means facing reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. It means acknowledging your starting point honestly. It means looking at your results without excuses or justifications. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It means choosing the important over the urgent, the necessary over the comfortable. Responsibility means owning both your choices and their consequences. It means recognizing that you are the primary creator of your life circumstances. These qualities aren't flashy or exciting. They don't make good headlines or viral social media posts, but they create real, lasting success in any area of life. Now let's talk about how to implement this formula through daily disciplines. Because success isn't created in a day, a week, or even a month. It's created day by day through small actions repeated consistently over time. The most powerful disciplines are often the simplest. Reading 10 pages of a good book every day, writing down your goals every morning, exercising for 30 minutes, making one sales call, saving a small percentage of every dollar you earn, expressing gratitude for what you have. These actions seem small in isolation, but their cumulative impact is enormous. Think about this. If you improve just one each day after 1 year, you'll be 37 times better, not just 365 better. That's the power of compounding. Small improvements, consistently applied, create exponential results over time. I suggest creating a daily success ritual, a set of actions you commit to doing every single day that move you toward your goals. Keep it simple, especially at first. 3 to 5 key actions are enough. The goal isn't quantity, it's consistency. For example, if financial success is your goal, your daily success ritual might include reviewing your financial goals for 5 minutes, reading 10 pages of a book on money management, tracking every dollar you spend, making one new business contact, and looking for one opportunity to add value to others. None of these actions will make you rich by themselves, but done consistently over time, they'll transform your financial situation completely. Why? Because they change who you are. They change how you think. They change what you notice and what opportunities you attract. The problem is, most people judge their actions by today's results. They don't see immediate payoff, so they stop. They don't understand that success isn't created in a day. It's created through days, weeks, months, and years of consistent right actions. When you plant an apple seed, nothing appears to happen for a long time. If you dig it up after a week because you don't see results, you'll never get apples. But if you water it faithfully, protect it from harsh conditions, and give it time, eventually you'll have an apple tree that produces fruit for decades. Your success works the same way. The daily disciplines may not show results immediately, but over time, they transform not just your circumstances, but who you are as a person. Now, let's address the obstacles you'll face when applying this formula. Because make no mistake, you will face obstacles. Everyone does. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of obstacles. It's how they respond to them. First obstacle is external resistance. This comes in many forms. People who don't support your goals, economic setbacks, unexpected problems, limited resources. These external obstacles are real, but they're rarely the biggest problem. The biggest problem is internal resistance, the resistance that comes from within yourself. Self-doubt, fear of failure, fear of success, procrastination, the temptation to quit when things get hard, the voice inside that says, this isn't working, or you're not good enough, or it shouldn't be this difficult. Every successful person faces this internal resistance. The difference is they push through it. They recognize it as part of the process, not a sign to stop. One of the most effective ways to overcome internal resistance is to anticipate it in advance. Know that motivation will fade. Know that doubt will arise. Know that you'll be tempted to quit. Then decide in advance how you'll respond when these feelings emerge. Another powerful strategy is to focus on process, not outcomes. When you're climbing a mountain, you don't look at the summit the entire time. That's overwhelming. You focus on the next step, the next handhold, the next small section of the path. Success works the same way. Focus on today's disciplines, today's actions, rather than constantly evaluating whether you've reached your ultimate. Remember also that setbacks are not failures. They're feedback. Every failure contains valuable information if you're willing to look for it. The question isn't, why did this happen to me? But what can I learn from this? And how can I use this experience to grow stronger? Some of the most successful people in history faced enormous setbacks before achieving their goals. They succeeded not in spite of these setbacks, but because of how they responded to them. They used adversity as fuel, as education, as strength. The next crucial element of our success formula is creating the right environment. You cannot become successful while surrounded by unsuccessful influences. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. There's a saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around at those closest to you. Are they where you want to be financially, relationally, physically? If not, you need to expand your circle to include people who are where you want to go. This doesn't mean abandoning old friends or family. It means intentionally seeking out positive influences through books, podcasts, seminars, and new relationships. It means limiting your exposure to negative influences, negative news, negative people, negative entertainment. Your physical environment matters too. Is your workspace organized for productivity or cluttered with distractions? Is your home a place that energizes you or drains you? Even small changes to your physical space can have big impacts on your mindset and productivity. The information you consume daily is another crucial part of your environment. What are you reading, watching, listening to? Is it moving you toward your goals or away from them? Is it expanding your mind or filling it with junk? Successful people are incredibly protective of their environment because they understand its power to shape their thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately their results. They carefully curate what and who they allow into their lives. Now let's talk about taking action immediately. Knowledge without action is worthless. The best formula in the world won't help you if you don't apply it. And the time to start isn't tomorrow or next week or when circumstances are perfect. It's today, right now, with whatever resources you currently have. Here are 3 Immediate actions you can take. First, clarify what you truly want in each major area of life: financial, physical, relational, and spiritual. Be specific. Write it down. This alone will put you ahead of 95 of people who live with vague wishes instead of clear intentions. Second, identify the daily disciplines that will move you toward these goals. What specific actions, taken consistently, will create the results you want? Choose no more than 3 to 5 to start with. Third, examine your environment. Who and what are you allowing to influence you daily? Make a list of positive influences to add and negative influences to reduce or eliminate. These 3 actions taken today will set in motion changes that will compound over time. But you must take them. Reading about this success formula isn't enough. Agreeing with it isn't enough. You must apply it. The cost of waiting is far greater than most people realize. Every day of delay isn't just a day lost. It's a day of compound growth never gained. If you invest $100 today at 10 interest, in 50 years it becomes more than $11,700. Wait just 5 years to start, and it grows to only $7,200. The 5-year delay cost you $4,500 more than 4 times your original investment. Your life works the same way. Small actions taken today and repeated consistently compound into massive results over time. But this compounding effect works just as powerfully in reverse. Small negative actions or the absence of positive ones compound into massive negative results. The truth is, you're already using this formula whether you realize it or not. You have a purpose, even if it's unconscious. You take actions consistently, even if they're the wrong ones. You get feedback in the form of results. Even if you ignore it, and you adjust your approach, even if ineffectively. The question isn't whether you're using the formula. The question is whether you're using it intentionally to create the life you want, or unconsciously to create a life you don't want. Success isn't an accident, neither is failure. Both are the result of specific causes. Both follow formulas. The good news is you get to choose which formula you follow. The success formula I've shared today isn't new or revolutionary. It's been proven over centuries by countless successful people in every field of endeavor. The principles are timeless because they're based on laws of life that don't change with fashions or technology. What's amazing is that this formula is available to everyone. No matter your background, education, connections, or current circumstances, you can apply these principles starting today. They cost nothing but effort and discipline, yet they return more than any other investment you could make. As we come to the end of our time together, let me share something important. The formula for success I've laid out today isn't complicated. It's not hidden in some secret book or known only to a select few. It's available to anyone willing to apply it. But here's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Action. Knowledge without action is like having a powerful car with no gas. Impressive to look at, but it won't take you anywhere. Most people know what they should do. They know they should save money, exercise regularly, continue learning, build positive relationships. But knowing isn't enough. Doing is what creates results. I've met thousands of people over the years who can recite personal development principles like they're reading from a textbook. Yet their lives show no evidence of applying these principles. They're like dieters who can name every calorie in every food but never change what they eat. The gap between knowing and doing is where most dreams die. Don't let yours be among them. Remember this, small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. The magic is not in the complexity of the task. The magic is in the doing of simple things repeatedly and consistently over a long period. 5 years from now, you will arrive at a destination. The question is, where will you be physically healthier or sicker, financially stronger or weaker, closer to your loved ones or more distant? The small decisions you make today are creating that future with mathematical certainty. You can't change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. And if you change your direction, you change your destination. Some of you might be thinking, this all sounds good, but my situation is different. You don't understand my circumstances. Let me tell you something. Circumstances don't determine your outcome. Your response to those circumstances does. I've seen people born into wealth and opportunity squander everything. And then I've seen people born into poverty and hardship build extraordinary lives. The difference wasn't circumstance. It was choice. The choice to apply this success formula regardless of starting point. Your past is not your future unless you choose to live there. Today, right now, you can make a new choice. You can set a new direction. You can begin new disciplines that will slowly but certainly create a new future. Let me tell you what will happen when you apply this formula consistently. At first, nothing. You'll take action day after day and see little external evidence of change. This is when most people quit. They want instant results in a world that rewards patience and persistence. But if you continue despite the lack of immediate feedback, something begins to happen. Small results appear. Momentum builds. Confidence grows. Opportunities open. What seemed difficult becomes easier. What required conscious effort becomes habit. And then one day, people will look at you and say, "You're so lucky." They won't see the thousands of small disciplines performed when no one was watching. They won't see the doubts you overcame, the times you wanted to quit but persevered. They'll see what looks like an overnight success that was actually years in the making. Don't wish for fewer problems. Wish for more skills. Don't wish for fewer challenges. Wish for more wisdom. It's not what happens to you that determines your life's outcome. It's what you do about what happens. The success formula works if you work it. Not occasionally, not when it's convenient, but consistently, day after day. That's the price of success, and it's available to anyone willing to pay it. So let me ask you, 5 years from now, where do you want to be? What do you want your health to look like? Your finances, your relationships, your contribution? Whatever that vision is, the path to achieving it starts with your very next decision. Will you fall back into old patterns? Or will you begin the disciplines that create a new future? Remember, successful people do what unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. Not unable to do, unwilling to do. Success is not a matter of capability. It's a matter of choice. You have the formula now. You know what creates success in any area of life. My challenge to you is simple. Use it. Not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, but today, starting right now, with whatever you have. Your new life is waiting. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is filled with decisions. Make ones today that your future self will thank you for. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now,